We also want to go back to the White House now, check in with correspondent Peter Doocy as there is more coming in on that end. Good evening, good morning, Peter, depending where you are.
Good evening, Shannon, here on the North Lawn of the White House, where we don't believe the president is in the Oval Office because when he is in the Oval Office, they station a Marine sentry outside the West Wing. We have not seen that late this evening, but 2 minutes ago, the press secretary told us online the president was briefed on a secure call this evening by Secretary Blinken, Secretary Austin, Chairman Milley, and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan about the ongoing attack on Ukraine by Russian military forces. We are told to expect to see him on camera tomorrow early in the afternoon. That is when he is going to announce the way that he and the partners of the G7 that he's going to have a virtual call with in the morning are going to respond in a united and decisive way. He teased yesterday in his last on-camera appearance about this. That would include additional sanctions. And one of the questions for the press secretary here at the White House the last 2 days has been, why not do more? The first round of sanctions that they put out yesterday were criticized by some Republicans and Democrats as being too narrow. And even though the press secretary said it was going to take some time for those sanctions to have some bite, for Putin to feel the bite of those first sanctions, she was asked today, why not just sanction Putin directly? Essentially, if you're going to go the route of financial punishment for invading a country, trying to take over your next door neighbor, why not just go all in at once? And she said they were leaving that option on the table. Another option that's been on the table is kicking Russia out or preventing Russia from using the SWIFT banking system. So they're going to try, if they go all the way, and I just heard from an official with the National Security Council, they're not ready to announce precisely what the new sanctions are going to be. But if they go all the way, based on what we've been told, that could include sanctions on Putin himself, which are on the table. And it could also include basically cutting Russia off from the global economy, which is essentially what eliminating them or kicking them out of the SWIFT banking system would do. So we expect to hear about more sanctions tomorrow, but the president does not want to go out and talk about what he wants to do on his own. Everything, every step of the way, the last few days, even though this has been unfolding in slow motion and they've been watching it from thousands of miles away, has been in consultation with European partners. Putin would make an announcement, something was happening, troops were moving into places where they hadn't been. We would get an alert that the president was on the phone with the leader of the UK, the French president, the German chancellor. And so they're trying to do everything together. And we're going to see what that looks like probably a little more than 12 hours from right now. Shannon?
All right, Peter Doocy live for us at the White House. Thank you, Peter.